Hello and welcome to another flashlearner.com free flash video tutorial. Today we're going to look at the bone tool and how to apply bones to movie clips on the stage and how to animate them. This is Flash Professional CS5, but it will work fine in CS4, but not if you have a program that is older than that, because the bone tool was introduced in CS4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this pre-created leg monstrosity, and I'm going to show you how to go from this, raw shape data to movie clips, and then how to add the bone tool to make it all connected and cool. So what I have on the stage is two layers. The top layer is just this front leg, and the bottom layer is that other stuff in the background, which I'm just going to hide for now. What we need to do to add bones to a thing is convert it to a movie clip. It has to be a movie clip, and we obviously need multiple movie clips to connect to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just roughly use the selection tool to chop this leg up a bit and make it into parts that we can then connect. So yeah, selection tool, select it. I'm going to right click, convert to symbol, and I'm just going to call it upper leg. Make sure it is a movie clip. Just going to do the same with the lower leg and convert to symbol, and that is lower leg. And again, one last time, just going to do that with the foot. And now I have three movie clips on the stage. I'm just going to right click them and make sure they're all on their own individual layers for now. Just makes it a bit easier. Then I'm just going to delete this, just sort these layers out a bit, so I have the upper leg on top and the foot on the bottom. Okay, now that's that sorted, we're ready to apply the bones to it. The hotkey for it is M. It also over here on your toolbar. It's just shaped like a bone, so it's kind of obvious. Now you'll see my cursor has changed to a bone with a little plus icon, and when you're working with something like a leg or an arm, you generally want to start from the top and click and drag down to the other connected parts. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click in the middle of this, because the bone is in the middle of the leg, I guess. And you'll see that when I'm clicking and dragging here, it's asking me where I want to connect to, because this is the start, the top of the bone, and I can click and drag to where I want the bone to end. And obviously it won't let me connect it to itself. It has to connect to a different movie clip, because you can see that there's a no entry sign there. But if I drag it down here, you'll see that the plus appears, and it will let me connect it to that part of the leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click and drag a second time to the foot, and you'll see what you can do now is, if you go back to the selection tool, is you can actually start, well, I'm just going to double click in here actually and drag this out a bit, because it makes it a bit of a smoother animation when we do that, but still obviously not perfect. And as you can see, we have a very basic bone system connected here, and all these items that were just complete random pieces of art are now connected just by using the bone tool. It doesn't look too great at the moment, so I'll show you how to make it look a little bit more realistic and less creepy. So the way to do that is click on to this top joint here, and in the properties menu you'll see a lot of confusing options. All you need to worry about is under the joint rotation, because obviously your leg cannot rotate like this unless, I don't know, you're in a circus or something. And I'm going to click constrain, and what that does, if you can see here, is it'll apply values that you cannot go beyond unless you push really hard, and sometimes Flash doesn't like it and it will break. But and then I'm just going to click this again. You can see the settings here. There's a minimum and maximum value, so as I adjust this, if you look at the leg, you can see that it's adjusting the value. So I'm just going to bring these around a bit, and that roughly that is what a human leg can do, a normal human leg anyway. And I'm just gonna click the second one, click constrain again, and you can see that, okay, this one can go a little bit further back, like that. Well, not that far forward, because that looks a little bit broken. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Bring that down. Okay, there we go. So now we have, remember this is just from a very basic shape. We've not had to animate anything, we've not had to add any frames yet, and this is just from simply using the bone tool. You can completely, this makes animating so much easier. You could make a walk cycle in about 2 minutes using this method, as you can imagine. It also makes just general animation a lot easier, and just connecting anything really. It doesn't have to be just a few items, it can be dozens and dozens, but remember it does have to be a movie clip to be able to connect to each other. I'll show you one more thing before we end the video, and that is, as you can see down here in the timeline, what it does when you create the bone system is it'll create an armature layer, which means it takes the movie clips and it puts them all into one kind of, well, armature. So I'm just going to delete these so it's less confusing and you can see. And what happens if you click on the armature layer here is, you can see in the properties you get a type option here, and essentially there's two options: author time, which lets you play around with this here in the authoring environment in Flash CS5. But if you, well, let me click this again. If you click runtime, what that'll let you do is when you test the movie or when you publish the movie, it'll let the person who's actually watching the video mess around with this bone system as if they're actually using Flash CS5. So yeah, that's a very basic way of looking at the bone tool. Obviously there's a lot of limitations with this kind of artwork, like clipping, and it doesn't look amazingly realistic, but from what we had in earlier versions of Flash, it does make animation a lot easier, and it's an awesome tool. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Remember, we are on Twitter now. It's @FlashLearner, so remember to follow us on there. Subscribe on YouTube, and thanks for watching.